Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we are back with the match preview for the Everton versus Manchester United game, of course, in the FA Cup. Obviously, the third round tie. If you are, well, of course, we are going to be doing a watch along for it. I'm a bit all over the place at the moment. I completely forgot I was meant to be doing a stream until like 5 minutes ago, so that's why it's a bit rushed. It might seem a bit rushed, but we are here. We should be all right. So, yeah, we do have a watch along for this game. Details are, of course, on my side. So, the stream will start at 7:30 tomorrow night, with kickoff being at 8 o'clock. So, please do tune in for that. Be there or be square, as they say. Of course, at the moment, we do have the Chelsea versus Spurs versus Man City game. Not Spurs game, versus Man City. So, while we do this preview, we will keep an eye on that as well. But we all know we really care about what's going to happen in this game. And will Manchester United make it to the fourth round of the FA Cup? Now, moving on, if we look at where both teams stand in the Premier League. Now, of course, this isn't a Premier League game, as I've said a couple of times now. This is in the FA Cup. However, with both teams being Premier League clubs, we are able to look at the Premier League table to kind of judge where these two clubs are at, and if Manchester United should be winning this game. And of course, the league table doesn't lie. We're currently sat in fourth, 17 played, 35 points, while Everton are down in the relegation zone, 20 points off of us, having played an extra game. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what does. Manchester United are better than Everton, and we should be beating Everton. And that's... Look, we will go into a bit more detail. But at the end of the day, that's the long and short of it. We should be beating Everton. Everton aren't that great. Looking at our last game against Everton, we did beat them 2-1. Alex Iwobi did give Everton that early lead. If I remember it correctly, it was that edge of the box shot that deflected. Deflected past David De Gea. However, both Anthony and Cristiano Ronaldo scored just before, in the first half to give us that 2-goal lead, which we, of course, saw out till the end. I remember Anthony was the one that scored the equaliser, obviously. And it was Anthony Martial with a great bit of interplay with the Brazilian winger that created that goal. And obviously Ronaldo came on to replace Anthony Martial in that game after he picked up an injury. But in that game, we were the better team and we dominated the game. And I think the same will go tomorrow night. And I think we are better than we were at that during that game. And I think Everton, they look like they've stagnated or potentially got even worse, to be honest. Now, with Manchester United, our last game, we did blow Bournemouth away. We won 3-0. Casemiro, Shaw and Marcus Rashford getting the goals. Very, very good performance from Manchester United, really. It was a performance that, look, there are steps to go, and we are able to get better and better. And I think we will. But generally, we played well in that game. We did what we had to do in that game, which I was most pleased with. For me, that game was about getting the 3 points, putting on a convincing and good performance, as well as making sure that we get players who haven't played, they get some minutes, and those who have been playing, they get rested. And I think we did that very, very well. And I think going into this game, with those players having been rested, with some players having been given game time and kind of being able to catch up to speed with kind of playing first team football. In this game today, we are going to see we're going to see a rotated team. We're going to still see a top level team playing at a very high level. If we go on to team news, you can see Everton. Formation wise, it's a bit of an unknown what Everton will actually play. I've got them down as a 4-3-3 because that's what they've played a lot this season and kind of what they've most usually used this season. However, that doesn't necessarily mean they will. At times, Everton have used a back five, especially against the kind of the better teams, the top teams. So we could quite easily see Everton run with a kind of a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2 or somewhere on that sort of line. However, I do think they'll probably stick with a 4-3-3, kind of what they've done before. And I do think that midfield of Idrissa Gana Gueye, Onana and Iwobi can be good. And I think they've got levels they can go up to. And I'm surprised they're playing so poorly because I think that is a good midfield three. But they're not doing it at the moment, are they? But I do think they'll kind of trust that midfield three to go on. Anthony Gordon, Michael Keane, Nathan Patterson and Andros Townsend are all missing for the Toffees in this game, with Keane, Patterson and Townsend all being out with knee injuries and Anthony Gordon just being an illness. From what I can tell, they're all definitely out and will miss this game, which is obviously big misses for Everton, especially for me. If you're looking at Anthony Gordon and Nathan Patterson, two players that you would argue would be in the first team for Everton if they were available. Looking at Manchester United, we've got a bit of a troublesome situation. So Sancho, he's in training, but like we said in the last preview, he hasn't been he hasn't trained properly for months. He wasn't in training before the World Cup. Throughout the World Cup, he wasn't back, and it was only a few days before that Bournemouth game he came back into training, so he's not going to be ready still. Anthony, he was ill and missed. But was it a muscle injury? I think it was that saw him miss the Bournemouth game. He has been in training. I believe he was in training yesterday. Whether or not he will be match fit and ready to play, I doubt. Obviously, it depends on how serious that injury really was, which we're not 100% sure about. But he has been in training, so chances are he might just about be on the bench, but we don't know. Donny van de Beek, he picked up an injury against Bournemouth. Looks like he'll be out for the rest of the season. Horrific injury. Let me see if I can get the picture up of it. Aubameyang's coming on for Sterling already. There we go. So Aubameyang's coming on for Sterling already. As Sterling's picked up an injury. So that's the Donny van de Beek injury. Those who want to see it. Yeah, it's horrific, isn't it? It is horrific. Not particularly what you want to see. But yeah. So he's out for the rest of the season, more or less. So my thoughts go out to Donny van de Beek and his family. I feel bad for him because he's obviously had a very hard time at Manchester United since joining him. And he's now got a manager that trusts him and will use him. And he goes and gets that injury when he's starting to get a bit of game time. And we've got Charlton and Everton. Well, obviously got Everton and then Charlton within our next two games. He was undoubtedly going to get game time. And now it looks like his season is over. And then what does that mean for his future at Manchester United? A lot of people deem him not good enough. Now he's got a year on the sidelines. So big injury there for Donny van de Beek. And I just wish him all the best. And Anthony Martial. So there is a doubt whether or not he'll be able to play. Obviously, he came off against Bournemouth. Eric Ten Hag did say that was due to a knock. But I hope and I believe he'll probably be all right. So he's a doubt, but I think he will be available. With all that being said, what lineups are we likely to see from Manchester United today? So from Eric Ten Hag, this is the team I believe he will play with. David De Gea. Look, we don't have Martin Dubravka anymore. Jack Butland looks like he will be coming in and replacing Dubravka as that backup goalkeeper. However, that hasn't happened yet. And while that hasn't happened, David De Gea will start in goal. I think Dalot, Maguire will start in this game alongside Alessandro Martinez and Terrell Malacia. Malacia played very well at left back while Luke Shaw deputised at centre back. I think Malacia was kind of sat out the Bournemouth game, so I think he comes in for this game. He's been very good whenever he's played Malacia, so I have absolutely no worries about him coming in. Martinez came on against Bournemouth, and I think he'll come in again and start today. Harry Maguire and Dalot. Dalot came on again. Wan-Bissaka's playing well at the moment, but I think Dalot came on and as such will start. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Wan-Bissaka does either. I do just think Wan-Bissaka will probably start against Charlton and then Dalot will play against Man City, which means Dalot will probably play today. So that kind of in my head makes sense. That's why I think we will see Diogo Dalot start. I think he will rest Eriksen and start with Fred and Casemiro. And I think chances are in the second half, we'll see Bruno replaced with Eriksen, like we've seen multiple times in the kind of the Europa League this season. Garnacho and Alanga will start in the wings with Marcus Rashford up top. I don't think Erik ten Hag will risk Anthony Martial. If there is a slight injury, I think he will just rest him, knowing there's bigger and better games to come, bigger and more important games to come in the likes of Man City, as I mentioned slightly earlier. And then that obviously means Marcus Rashford. And those three kind of have to play, unless you kind of see Bruno move back out to the right and Eriksen start in that number 10 role, which I don't particularly see happening. So I think that's the team Erik ten Hag will go with. And I think that is a good team. I think Alanga, well, look, is he good enough? I don't know. But I think he does offer energy. He offers pace, directness. So I don't think it's the end of the world him playing. And I really like Garnacho. I think he looks so good, so promising. Every time he gets the ball, I think he's electric. And I'm really happy if he does get an opportunity. And I'm excited to see kind of the things he can do, Garnacho, week in, week out. This is the team I would start with. So, very similar team, really. Same back four and goalkeeper. And it's the same kind of rationale as I gave before. Dalot will play this game. Wan-Bissaka plays Charlton. Then Dalot's fit and fully ready for the Man City game. Malacia just resting Shaw. Malacia can also then play Charlton. Lisandro Martinez, just give him a game. Try and get him back up to full fitness. Then rest him against Charlton. And then play him against Man City. Maguire, play him in this game. You can then take him out for Varane and play Varane and Lindelof together. And then against Man City, Varane's fully fit. Lisandro Martinez is fully fit. Those two can play. Midfield, McTominay, Fred, just play them together. Give Casemiro a rest. Give Eriksen a rest. And look, if you need to bring one of those on, well then we can. But I would start with those two. And then the front line, I want the firepower. I want the quality. Martial, Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Start them. Then we can start bringing on Elanga, should we need to. We can start bringing on some of the younger players should the opportunity arise. And if not, well then, at least we've got the best team forward to go and win this game. Because I think it's important, and I've said it a lot, that you can't just rest in these sort of games and expect to win the game. You've got to, in a sense, put your best foot forward. And while I have rotated a few players, I do believe that is still a very much strong enough side to win this game and to win it fairly comfortably against an Everton team that is in the relegation zone at the moment. An Everton side that their manager is being called into question of whether or not his job should be on the line and whether or not he should be sacked. And to me, that says all you need to know about this Everton team at the moment. And I think we put our best foot forward. We go out there thinking and knowing we can win the game, and we will win the game. And I think that team does that for me. Score-wise, prediction-wise, I am confident that we'll win the game. And I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I don't think Everton will trouble us that much. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Manchester United win. Obviously, you guys let me know down below in the comment section below what you believe the scoreline will be. If you have enjoyed, also please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. If you're watching this as a stream, thank you all for watching. If you're watching this as a video, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one in a bit. Peace.